Clash Royale looks simple on the surface: drop your cards, outplay your opponent, and claim the crown. But behind the flashy animations and balance updates, there are secrets Supercell never meant for players to notice. Some of these were honest mistakes, others were design quirks, and a few were scandals that shook the community. Once you hear them, you'll never see Clash Royale the same way again. Section 1. Hidden mechanics they tried to bury. Let's start with one of the strongest win conditions in the game, the Royal Giant. Everyone knows he's annoying, but did you know his evolution secretly adds splash damage to his cannonballs? That means if a flying troop is positioned just above the building he's targeting, the extra blast actually connects. It's subtle, but players who know this trick gain insane value. And it's not the only evolution Supercell miscalculated. The Ice Spirit originally required 3 full cycles before you even got the evolved version. That meant most decks never saw it once in an entire match. Players revolted, calling the card unusable, and Supercell scrambled to patch it down to 2 cycles. Section 2. Cards that can kill themselves. Now here's a fact that makes 0 sense from a design standpoint. There are 5 cards in the entire game that can literally eliminate themselves with one hit. Bats, Skeletons, Firecracker, Hunter, and Wall Breakers. Yes, you heard that right. Some of the very troops you place are coded so weak that they can self-destruct in a single interaction. When this was discovered, players accused Supercell of lazy balancing and memes flooded Reddit. But the truth? It's still in the game to this day. Section 3. Supercell's biggest slip-ups. Supercell has had its share of embarrassing accidents. The skeleton barrel? It was never supposed to appear when it did. In October 2017, it was accidentally released early inside the Mirror Challenge. Players rushed to exploit it before an emergency maintenance break yanked it away. And that's not even the funniest slip-up. Remember when Goblin Gang only spawned 5 goblins? They updated it to 6, but the in-game render still shows 5 to this very day. Millions of players stare at it without realizing they're looking at a mistake frozen in time. Section 4. Voices you weren't supposed to notice. Let's talk about voices. The sounds you hear every single battle. Turns out multiple fan-favorite characters are voiced by the exact same person. The Knight, the Barbarian, the Electro Wizard, and even the Lumberjack all come from the vocal cords of John Mandelli. Once you know this, it's impossible to unhear. Even crazier, Elite Barbarians and normal Barbarians don't have unique sound files at all. The Elite version is literally just the same audio, slowed down. If you toss a snowball at a Barbarian and slow them, they sound exactly like an Elite. Rage an Elite. And suddenly it's just a normal Barb yelling at double speed. Section 5. Clash of Clans crossovers. They never admitted Supercell likes to act like Clash Royale and Clash of Clans are separate, but the truth is the games constantly recycle content. The skeleton dragon head decoration in Clash of Clans? Direct reference to Royale. The Clash Royale arena scenery in COC? A literal copy-paste. And get this, the Rascals were almost never a card. Originally, they were just supposed to be a knight with 2 archers behind him. Instead of making that clunky mess, Supercell scrapped it and rebranded the design into the Rascals trio we know today. Section 6. Visual lies and oddities. Let's talk about art deception. Out of all the spirit cards, only the Fire Spirit actually has a mouth. Look closely at the Heal, Electro, and Ice spirits. Nothing. And here's where it gets controversial. When spirits jump, the game no longer treats them as troops at all. They're instantly flagged as projectiles. That's why in touchdown mode, they can't even score. The minion horde also exposes a strange double standard. On paper, it's cheaper per unit than playing 2 sets of minions. But this discount makes it one of the most punishing cards if your opponent throws arrows or fireball. Value for you, or value for them, it's one of the most debated mechanics in the game. Section 7. Hidden lore you never saw. Buried in the card descriptions are some bizarre lore connections. Take the Royal Recruits. Their text says they dream of ponies and one day wearing metal buckets. Sounds like a throwaway joke, right? Wrong. It's a direct reference to the Dark Prince, making him essentially a promoted recruit. Then you've got Spear Goblins. At star level 3, they suddenly sprout red mohawks, an exact reference to Clash of Clans goblins at level 6. And if you zoom in on minions' card art, their eyes are purple. Deploy them in battle, though, and their eyes glow red. Supercell never fixed this inconsistency, and fans argue whether it's a design bug or intentional. Section 8. Weapons, armor, and plain nonsense. Here's where things get messy. 10 troops in the game actually drop their weapons when defeated. Knight, Mega Minion, Rascal Boy, Dark Prince, Executioner, Mega Knight, Sparky, Fisherman, Golden Knight, and Little Prince. None of those weapons can be picked up. They're just abandoned. Why code it in at all? Nobody knows. And then there's the Royal Giant. He's wearing armor, right? Chainmail, helmet, the whole deal. Yet somehow, he has less health than the regular giant, who's just shirtless and bald. Players have called this one of the dumbest balance decisions in Royale history. Section 9. Balance Nightmares and Untouchables. If you've ever wondered why skeletons rarely get touched in balance changes, here's the reason. They're tied to 6 different cards. Mess with the base skeleton stats, and you change Witch, Graveyard, Skeleton Barrel, Tombstone, Skeleton King, and the skeleton's card itself. It's such a nightmare that Supercell avoids it whenever possible. Meanwhile, the Electro Spirit has the opposite story. It's never once been touched by a balance update. That's right, the only permanent card that has survived unchanged since release. For a company that rebalances constantly, that's unheard of. Section 10. Attacks that don't even work right. Sparky and Firecracker are the only cards in the game with recoil animations. For Sparky, it's just cosmetic. For Firecracker, it's a disaster. Her recoil is so extreme that it makes her miss shots constantly. Players have begged Supercell for years to fix the drunk Firecracker, but nothing's changed. And then there are archers. They carry quivers on their backs, yet never once do they actually grab an arrow. Every single arrow they fire simply materializes in their hand. Supercell wants us to believe it's magic, but fans see it as proof of rushed design. Section 11. Troop Origins They Don't Want to Admit. Let's close with a scandalous full-circle story. The bomber in Clash Royale was obviously inspired by Clash of Clans wall breakers. But then, Supercell added the bomber back into Clash of Clans during the Builder base update. And to make things even messier, they later brought wall breakers into Clash Royale. 2 troops, both created out of copy-paste confusion, now exist in both games. Fans call it the Supercell Recycling Program, and honestly, they're not wrong. From accidental releases to recycled designs, Clash Royale is filled with secrets Supercell would rather you ignore. But once you know them, you realize just how much drama, mistakes, and hidden detail shape the game. Which one shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts below. And if you think you know every Clash Royale secret, just wait until you see what's in the next video.